And welcome back. We are the guys next door. I'm Ron Arenas with my co-host, Pastor John McLean.
Yes, sir. Can you do me a favor? Can you take that off there? It was bothering me. Thank you. Yeah, now, hey, we can do a radio show now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm sorry that I wasn't here for you last week, but thank you, Andreas, for stepping in and being. It seemed like a pretty good co-host for you. It seemed like you guys had a lot of fun together.
We always do really well on the radio together.
Yeah. So I don't even need to be here anymore. Huh? Okay.
We always need you,
yeah,
Pastor
I appreciate
John.
it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Thank you. Stop.
Well, today we have a special guest. We have a couple special guests, but our first guest is Edgar Soto. Welcome, Edgar.
Hello. Thank you for having me again. I'm thankful that I'm able to be here in person this time.
Absolutely.
Last time it was like something came up. I was out in Phoenix. I even forget what I had to do. Something at the legislature,
some meeting
at the Capitol,
or something
was going on.
Yeah.
Something
But you took
important.
time
Not that this wasn't more important, but
yeah,
you had the option of.
Well, you could do. You did both. See,
I did both. Yes.
Yeah. So that was perfect.
Yeah.
So.
And that's why we're lucky to have you be our next local official.
Yeah,
that's right.
Well,
that's right.
I gotta mention something. So
sure,
you mentioned how you had a replacement when John was gone, right?
Yeah.
So do you know the Wally Pipp and the Lou Gehrig story? Well,
No.
you know Lou Gehrig, the baseball player, Yankee, had played the most consecutive games ever, and the first baseman that took a day off and didn't come back never got his job back. So that's why you don't take days off, right? Yeah, because then you might get replaced.
Andreas
and somebody
will definitely take my job.
Isn't that what Tom Brady did?
Yeah, for sure.
Didn't Drew
Drew Bledsoe?
Didn't he get hurt or whatever?
Yeah.
And then Tom Brady filled
then
in and never left.
That's why you always just play through the pain. You just got to keep it going. So
I was actually out of town, but I'll never leave town.
You never leave town
again.
again.
Somebody might do such a good job, and then you're replaced. And Lou Gehrig, and
So Edgar, let's talk about the race. Let's, as a lifelong Tucsonan, tell us about your decision to run for the Pima County Board of Supervisors.
This has been such a cool experience.
I
mean, people think, "Oh man, are you busy? You're this and that," and all the challenges that come with running a campaign. But I've had actually a really good experience because it's forced me to go to places. Not forced me, but it's allowed me to go to places like unincorporated Ajo along the border. 3 Points. Robles Ranch. It's got me connected with a lot of people in the community. And what I love most about what I do is you get to connect with people. And you get to hear their stories, right? I mean, you know, just the stories that you hear, and then you get to hear solutions to try to fix problems, right? And I think for so long, and I'm going to actually skip over to the next question I know you're going to ask me.
Sure.
For so long, we've got a duopoly here. You got Republican and Democrat, right? You got two ways of doing things, and people not wanting to work with the other side of the aisle, or I'm not going to do this with you, or because you're this, you're that, you're Republican, you're independent. And the reason I say moderate Democrat is because I'm willing to work with anybody that wants to build community. I'm not going to let party affiliation, how you identify, anything hinder our ability to work together, collaborate, and be force multipliers for each other. We all have different lived experiences. And if we're willing to have, like what we're doing here, these kinds of conditions and spaces where we can have discussions, it's amazing the problems we can solve when we work together and keep that North Star there.
Interesting. And just in listening to the way you talk and just the fluidity, kind of that connection, it makes me ponder over your placement within the scholastic community and how that has prepared you for this next step. Because it seems like you know, there is a certain language and a certain politics and certain kind of structure that is necessary in that environment, and to be able to kind of, you know, bring that with you into politics, so that way you're looking at, you know, people's opinion from 10 different religions and races and cultures and kind of different backgrounds, places from all around the world, and trying to do what's best for the community of people, rather than, okay, I am this or that, so that I'm going to do what best serves that group of people.
Yeah, that's exactly what I feel I'm able to bring to the table, because I not only, you know, work at Pima as an administrator, but the other thing I do is I teach classes, and it allows me to talk to my students. I teach a college readiness class, and I talk to my students, and the students are a diverse group, all different life experiences, sometimes coming from different countries, different parts of the
different economic,
different countries, different parts of the world, or different parts of our country. And the one thing that is pretty common is that people want to be seen, heard, and valued. They want to be loved. They want to love, and that's at the core of a lot of what we're doing. So now, what I've done at that level is I've helped my students build pathways to success, right? Pathways to what they're telling me they want. They want good jobs with livable wages so they can live lives of meaning and purpose. So my job this whole time has been able to have tried to build them those pathways to have that type of success so they can reach their higher self. Now, all I want to do at the county level is do the same for our constituents, build pathways for success, whether it be for small business, whether it be for, just individuals that need better transportation from incorporated to unincorporated, or whether it's access to healthcare or veterinarians, whatever it might be. And the one thing I've learned, and here's the other part where I feel like my job as an athletic director has really helped me. So I was a baseball coach at Pima for a long time, and then I became the athletic director. We had 16 different sports. Now, being the athletic director of 16 different sports, all the coaches had different ways of doing things, and they all had different needs, right? So my football coach might feel they need this certain type of equipment to be successful. My tennis coach might feel they need this certain type of racket. My job is to get them what they need to be successful and get out of the way. And I think as leaders, sometimes the best thing we can do is get out of the way. Give your people what they need to be successful and get out of the way. And then I'm going to add this to it, the military. I learned everything I need to know about leadership in 3 months Marine Corps boot camp. And I'm going to say this, you're going to be able to understand this part. What do we do in the Marine Corps when you first get there? You make your rack, right? You make your rack, you sit at the foot of your bed at attention. If everybody's rack's not made, what happens? You tear it apart, you do it again. And literally you do it hundreds of times until you finally figure out, okay, once my rack is made, my bed's made, I help that person make theirs. And that's the mission. The mission's the mission. So once you got done what you need to get done, your job is to help other people and to support them in the best way we can. So I think that's the kind of, I guess, the type of, I would say, character, or the type of attitude people need to have, is that, we want to make sure that we're good, we're taking care, but then we also got to be good to others and help them, kind of what you're doing with your organization, help lift other people up, give them a hand up, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we can make the whole community better, then it's better for everyone. No matter what, how much money you're making or how big your family is, if the whole community is better, then everyone's Here's what else is very interesting is that what is needed in unincorporated Ajo or 3 Points is different than what the need is in the Flowing Wells area or Winter Haven area. And I think the one thing that I realized, we had a debate on Saturday, right? And the one thing I've realized is that a lot of politicians come into elected positions with their own policies or agendas that they want to push forward, right? And I think that's where we get it wrong in politics. I think your job as a politician is to listen to your constituents and give them what they need to be successful. So, for example, when I went down to Ajo, I was there on Friday, and they're telling me, you know what, we need a veterinarian, we need 24-hour pharmacy, we need more access to maybe an urgent care. When I go to the middle of Tucson, Flowing Wells, Romero, hey, we need to do something about our homeless or unhoused situation. We need to have access or find ways to help our homeless or unhoused. And then you go a little further down, they want to know what's going on as far as zoning, codes, how's that going to help their small business. Well, excellent. Well, thank you for being with us today. How do people find you? Or
go to Soto, the number 4 supervisor.com. And then if you're available tomorrow, KG's Restaurant, we need about 100 people to help canvass, 8:30 a.m.
Awesome.
So show up.
Very good. Well, thank you. Thank you again for being with us. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Tucson Pack and Ship, Crest Insurance, Tucson Tamale, and Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
And also, we want to invite you to go to veteranrescuemission.org and picturerockscooling.com so you can find out not only about our radio shows, but about the work that we're doing to help the community, and about the work that Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing is doing to help getting your air conditioning going again. And if you have any plumbing issues, that's definitely the first place I would call. We'll be right back. It's the Guys Next Door.
And welcome back. I'm Ron Arenas with The Guys Next Door with my co-host, Pastor John McLean.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what a great first segment we had.
That's amazing. Yeah, he's but that's what you do. I mean, one, you surround yourself with amazing men. You've had amazing mentors, amazing partners kind of in your life. And Edgar is certainly a testament of that. It's exciting to see, where, 10 years from now, we're going to listen to this show. And, wherever he is, House of Representatives, whatever kind of the world has in store from that guy is a rocket ship that we're blessed to get to see take off.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our next guest is...
Another rocket ship.
Another rocket ship. Yeah. Is Jack Shanep? Is that...
That's right. Yeah.
Shan Up.
Yeah.
Right.
Shan Up.
Shan
It's
Up.
a weird one.
Yeah. Okay.
Shan Up.
I
If
like
you read it, you're going to mispronounce it.
You got the business in the military with that one, didn't you?
That's right. Yes, I did. Absolutely. I've heard it all.
Yes.
And he's with Retirement Wealth Partners. Welcome.
That's right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for having me. I'm excited for this.
Yeah. So are we. We've been talking about it for a while, and I'm glad that we finally get you over here.
I've been listening to...
You thought we were kidding. Yeah, we meant it. Yeah, it wasn't a threat.
They're like,
I'm sorry to all of our listeners. Your listeners. I apologize in advance.
So tell us about your company and your team.
Yeah. So I work for Retirement Wealth Partners.
Mm-hmm.
We're located on Fort Lowell and Swan.
Okay.
It is an independent financial advisory firm. So Tim Shanup is the principal and founder. He's also my dad.
Okay.
It's family owned and operated. It's a weird dynamic, but we love it. He's a great
I worked for my dad for probably about a year when I was a kid, and it was actually a really pleasant experience. I wouldn't do it again, but it was a pleasant experience.
And I have two of my sons working for me. So
and that seems to be the dream. Really. I mean, if my I have 4 sons, so if any of them end up working for me, that'd be such a blessing. So.
And I just had my first son, so if he wanted to work with Retirement Wealth Partners, I would love it. Tim and I have a great relationship. He was actually the best man at my wedding.
Oh, wow.
So so we
cool.
have great
that's
communication.
So cool,
it's really nice kind of having his experience and expertise and relationships. And what's funny is Tim's father was actually a financial advisor in Tucson in 1968.
Wow.
So I'm third generation.
Wow.
And as you guys know, I mean, Tucson is a big city with a small town feel.
That's right.
So to have so many Shan-ups for so many years in Tucson,
and
we're still around. So hopefully we're doing something right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, it's just, I think me and Ron talk about this a lot because it's just so unusual that his kids carried that out. At one time in this country that was how it worked. Like if your dad was a shoemaker, you were a shoemaker. Your dad was a bread maker. If baker, you were a baker. And it's lost that. But yeah, again, I hope if nothing else, my kids pick up these lessons that I'm trying to get them. I'm trying to how else do we pass down that legacy? Right. And it sounds like that's what's going on with your family. That's beautiful.
That's exactly right. And you kind of alluded to it. I'm very thankful for my time in the Army. So I'm a T-Loc. After high school, I went to West Point, United States Military Academy.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And then from
you
there,
seem like a big brain. Yeah.
You've seen my head size. Come on. I mean, it's a 5 head, not a 4 head. But after that, I was an infantry officer for just over 5 years. And so I think that experience as well, right? You get to see different sides. You get to learn from other people and then come back to the family practice. That way you have more value. You're not fresh off the boat. So I think it helps add value to the team where we have different perspectives.
It definitely does, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fresh 18 or 21-year-old who's trying to do this. Yeah. So very thankful for that experience. Really thankful to be back home in Tucson. A little more about Retirement Wealth Partners. Half the business is group retirement plans. So we do 401ks, 403bs. We work with about 70 plans in the Southwest. And then the other half is with individuals and families. So we partner with about 500 individuals and families. Again, mostly in Tucson, but kind of all over the Southwest. So we offer anything for employee-sponsored 529 plans, which is a great product to save for higher education. If it's employee-sponsored, then it's normally a little bit cheaper for the individual than if they just started one for their own families. So, we're an independent financial advising firm, so we don't have any proprietary products. We don't have any models. We serve as fiduciaries. That means that, we're not looking for something that's suitable, something that could work. We have an ethical and legal obligation to serve in the best interest of our client. And I think a big part of that is, hey, how are you being compensated? Are you going to get paid more with this product or that product, or is it going to be the same amount regardless of kind of how it goes?
Oh, okay.
So I think that's part of our value clause. Again, father-son dynamic, family-owned and operated. We're local. We have an amazing staff that picks up their calls at 6:30 in the morning all the way until 5 p.m. at night.
Nice.
Because we get participants who, they're about to go to work. They don't have time to ask questions about their 401k or just anything about life. So we want to make sure we're available for them.
It's interesting. With what you do, what would you say makes you guys unique from the collection of other people that do out there? Which, I mean, thankfully, it seems like with your industry is not as saturated as real estate, but there are other people that do what you do. So, why would you, to John Q. Public, perfect client out there listening, what would you say to him?
No, it's a great question. And, for some people, financial advisor is kind of a dirty word,
Yeah, it's like the fifth on the list.
That's right. That's right. And so I think Retirement Wealth Partners is a little bit different in one of two ways. One, you have the longevity. I mean, you have the track record. You have the family name that's been here for so long. When you interact with Retirement Wealth Partners, you're working with Tim or you're working with me. It's not we're the sales guy and then we'll pass you off to a service person.
Yeah.
We're the ones there. We have clients who've, 3 generations with Retirement Wealth Partners.
Wow.
So a lot of it is the trust. If anyone is working with a financial advisor, asking the, hey, are you a fiduciary question is a great question to ask. Researching different firms, because there are a lot of different ones. There's wirehouses, there's independent firms, there's all kinds of different avenues for financial advisors. So it is hard to say, hey, I'm a financial advisor. Your next question should be, okay, what kind of financial, like how do you define that term? Are you doing group retirement plans? Are you not? Are you doing high net worth individuals? Are you not? Do you have a minimum, right? Some people, you got to have $500,000 to work with them. The Retirement Wealth Partners, there's no minimum. Like it's our vocation to be here to help families save for retirement, save for first home, save for higher education. And I think that kind of, when you meet that person, that comes through. See if it's authentic, see if it's not authentic. But I think that's our value clause.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice. So we've heard the term outliving your money. Tell us how a financial advisor could help you prepare so that we don't run out of money in that situation.
Yes. Great question. I think it's something everyone's a little nervous about. Like, how much is enough? Am I going to be okay? Am I not going to be in retirement? Should I retire now? Should I keep working? I don't think there's, a one-size-fits-all solution for everyone.
Right.
And so being able to articulate, hey, what does retirement look like for you? I don't know if you've heard it, but there's the go-go years in retirement, the slow-go years in the retirement, and then the no-go years. So when you first retire,
go ahead, give us the sound.
I know. When you first retire, normally you're going to spend a little bit more of your money, right? Those are your go-go years.
Traveling.
You're traveling. You're visiting grandkids. You're getting used to
your
retirement.
bones still work good. Your muscles still going. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. And then the later we get into retirement, you get closer into your slow-go years. Hey, maybe I don't want to travel as much. Maybe I'm just hanging out with the grandbabies. Maybe I'm not eating out as much, and I'm not buying as many new clothes. Things like that. And then you get the no-go years, and that's kind of when you're getting close to the end of your life, and you know what's important to you. There's some bills like medical that might go up, but on average, and there's a lot of studies that show it is, hey, that expense for everyday life will go down. And so we talk to clients about that piece. We talk about how much are you saving now? I mean, are you going to make more or less when you retire and take Social Security? For many Americans, it's less than 50% of what they're making today.
So, definitely.
Thinking through all those things. Another question is, hey, when should I take Social Security? And that's a hard question because, Ron, tell me the date that you're going to pass away, and then I can tell you the time to do Social Security, right? Like no one has a crystal ball. It's hard for us to predict some of these things. So a lot of it is just developing a plan. And Tim's a CFP, Certified Financial Planner, to then talk as a whole family. Hey, where are we at? What are our goals? Where are our finances? All those things kind of matter on, am I going to outlive my money?
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of John Q. Public, perfect client, What does he look like? What does he do? Is it a business owner? Like what type of clientele particularly is you guys' sweet spot? They should be picking up the phone, giving you a call right now.
Yeah, great question. Selfishly, I love all the vets, right? Just
with
the background.
I like them as well.
Talk about stories. Very familiar with the TSP, some of the different benefits. I think that's a unique niche that I know hopefully more than the average financial advisor. So I think that's definitely a piece. It is hard though, John, because we have people who don't have a lot of money and have $5,000 with us, and we're working with them to people in the ultra high net worth location. So our motto is we want to work with everyone who wants to work with us. So if they want to work with us, if they're pleasant, if they want to get better, we want to help them out as much as they want to be helped.
Yeah. And I would love to see just some kind of program, and there probably is something that's there, but just to get them as young as you can. 18 years old, they're starting their first job or their first serious job. And even if they can just put a little bit away, because as time, that money just accumulates.
Absolutely.
And by the time they're 60, 65, 67, they're going to have that nest egg.
Compound interest, right?
It's you're either paying it or you're making it.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I think that's another benefit of Retirement Wealth Partners. We have Tim Shanup, who, is 30 plus years experience, and then you have someone half his age who's the next generation. So we have people that maybe you resonate more with, someone who's a little older, maybe someone who's your age, maybe someone who's a little younger. So we have different perspectives in the company and in the firm.
Yeah, that's cool. True, because you're in different places in your life.
Exactly. Yeah. Just have my my first son. That's a very different life than having a son working for you like Tim. So no, it's a great dynamic.
That's cool. I had to stop by your shop. I have to say, just taking the vibe. I bet the energy's great.
Right.
Please. Yeah. Come on.
So how do people get a hold of you for a consultation?
Absolutely. So we're actually revamping our website, so stay tuned. Okay. You can Google Retirement Wealth Partners. You can stop by our office. Give us a call at 520-775-2900. We'd love to talk to all your listeners. And Ron, John,
yeah,
I'll see you there.
Thank you. Give us that phone number one more time.
It's 520-775-2900.
All right. Well, thank you. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Tucson Pack and Ship, Crest Insurance, Tucson Tamale, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, keeping you cool all summer long.
Yeah, and I'm here with the coolest guy in Tucson, Ron Arenas with Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. We thank you guys all for listening. Remember, your support also helps Veteran Rescue Mission, helps us connect unhoused veterans with housing. Go to veteranrescuemission.org for more information. We'll see you next time. Keep it cool.